こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の教材は、クリスタルパレスの鎌田大地に関する動画です。鎌田に関する動画は、このチャンネルではほとんど視聴されていなかったので、あまり扱えていなかったですが、今回は鎌田に関する深い見解を話していましたので、どうしても取り上げたいと思います。クリスタルパレスは、FAカップの準決勝でアストンビラに3対0で完勝しましたが、鎌田大地は先発出場し、試合を通して素晴らしいパフォーマンスを見せました。クリスタルパレスファンは、FAカップの決勝に進んだ興奮の中、試合前の不安の声を一掃するほど、鎌田大地が素晴らしいパフォーマンスを見せたと絶賛しています。実際にどのように話しているのか、チェックしてみましょ
う。I liked about the game. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Kamada. I've said it a bunch, but today he kind of stole a couple things out of Hughes's notebook. If I can't defend the guy, I'll just kind of clip him and see if I can get away with it. And he did a couple of times until he got that late yellow card. He played tremendous. And somebody fell over. Oh, okay. And the pass Kamada had late in the game there to Sarr, who just missed on the header, that was beautiful. He looks like he's playing under control and with some more confidence. He's been getting a little, in that midfield role, like, taking a couple of people down. I like that. That's what I like from my midfielders anyway, a little bit of gusto. So I mean, hey, it's great. It's a great day to be a Palace fan.
Really is. Kamada, by the way, most touches of any player in the Palace team. 49 closest. Obviously the centre backs tend to get a lot of touches. You've got, Lacroix and Gay on 43 with Richards on 44. But
where did he rank with progressive passes?
Progressive passes. Let me have a look at the passing stats. Let me see. Have I got progressive passes?
90% passing.
Yeah, but 90%, 30 passes played, 2 key passes.
One of the most composed players on the pitch. Honestly, one of the most composed players on the pitch.
Yeah.
It was
very fit. The thing about Kamada is, I'll say it again, he came from a different league, doesn't really speak language very well, but he knows Glasner and Glasner knows him. And I think our fan base was way, way overboard in criticizing him. Remember when he first got here, he was playing as one of the 10s, remember? Because when Ketia hadn't really... Then he moved into midfield, then he moved him back out to the 10s. He was moved all over the place. And unfortunately, he got that red card, which I think was the making of him, funny enough. In retrospect, it was the making of him because the fans, I heard people were booing him off and when he went off in that game, and it was an unfortunate red card. But since then, he's really fought back, and again, I'll give Cloud Glasner so much credit, not only sticking with him, but if you ever try, watch back today's game in Arsenal. The guy is massive in the ability to block the passing lanes in the middle, make progressive passes, and press. He's pressing. You remember he pressed for that goal for the Mateta goal.
He's essential for that. Yeah,
he's essential. He gets it. I mean, he was brilliant. So, and again, we got people like Mukhtar in here.
What does Lou always say?
This is a funny look. A guy doesn't know football. Yeah, we're still rubbish. Yeah. Okay,
I mean, Lou always says, like, he's got a very intelligent, opinionated football brain, but he always says, I trust my manager. And today I saw the lineup and I was like, what's he thinking? Like, what's he doing? In the pre-match build-up, everyone's like, Kamada is not starting.
Right.
But he takes us by surprise. And, oh, my God, did he prove everybody wrong today.
I'm going to give you absolute honesty, then I'm going to let Patrick speak, seeing as he's the actual guy who's just joined to talk. We keep cutting him off. Sorry, Patrick. But just...
That's all right. I cut you guys off all the time.
I just really want to be honest, though, because again, we could often hide behind opinions, but I want to be absolutely 100% honest. After the City game, I was done with Kamada. I really was. I'm not reactionary. Patrick would tell he's known me a very long time. I'm not a reactionary person. I don't write players off. I give them time, and I always go like, there's talent there. Kamada all season I've been like, there's talent there. You can see it. You can see it on the ball. You can see it with his movement, physicality, and the pace. He's just not got it yet. But the performance against Man City, I was done with him. When I saw him named in the lineup, I thought he was brilliant against Arsenal, but I thought mistake to play him again. And as soon as I saw him named in the lineup today, I was like, every manager has a blind spot, don't they? Even the best coach we've had in God knows how long, perhaps ever, has got a blind spot. He's my Jeffrey Schlupp for Oliver Glasner. But I'm wrong. I'm absolutely wrong. And I should have trusted my instincts before. But because football is an emotional game, we all do it. We all get to a point where we're like, I've had enough. I still give Schlupp stick, even though over the course of his Palace career, there were some fantastic moments for him. I mean, he's a decent player, and he is a decent player.
Yeah.
But we do it. We get fixated on people who just wind us up. We think they're the weak link. Different times I use the weak link. Ward's the weak link, and eventually you're right, because eventually Schlupp had to go, and eventually Ward shouldn't get a game. So do I sit here and say I was right all along? I don't. I was actually wrong for a fair proportion of a lot of those things. Yeah. But the manager, the tactics, the players around them, they all make such a big difference. And whatever it is, whatever we've done to finally get that kind of mix in there, and Patrick's probably right, it's probably Wharton. That's probably what it needed. It probably needed a fully fit, fully flying Adam Wharton alongside Kamada for him to be like, I know how this works. Yeah, I can do this now.
Yeah. They're quite the duo. They are quite the duo. I get like the contrast in the two players. I think it could be a mix that could flourish potentially, and we've seen glimpses. 100%.
Well, I think the important factor is Kamada can pass, and when you have other players next to Wharton, Hughes is a decent passer. Lerma, he can't pass, but if you're with Kamada, you both got good long-range progressive passes, I guess is what they're calling it. They both can pass the ball. And sometimes and then especially when you're playing the counterattack against Villa, who's, I think their center backs are a bit soft anyway. Those long-range passes can work. And then we broke on them all day. So I think that was another reason why he started. And good for him, because I'm one of those fans that was not so much done with him, just thought he was a squad guy. But hey, I could admit when I'm wrong. I'm so good at it. He played a hell of a game. And they all did. But Kamada has really come a long way in a short time. He's gone through a lot. I mean, some of his best games have actually been on the road, because I think there's still at Selhurst, there's still a part of the fan base that's just not going to forget about the red card. I mean, folks, let it go. It's done now. The guy has earned his keep. I mean, he scored the winning goal against Villa in the League Cup. He played great today. I mean, I just think, we got to give the man his due. I mean, to come back from that, good for him. I mean, it's great. Yeah.
I mean, I think if there's one thing we can say about Daichi, I agree with all of that, Patrick. I think something that I had not appreciated, but I think this is true the more I think about it, the more I see Daichi. He plays the way that Glasner likes playing. Like, Glasner does not prize high percentage in terms of pass accuracy. He doesn't really prize that. What he wants is quick passes. He wants 2 to 3 and get right into the attacking area. And what's interesting today is that Wharton and Kamada both play that way. They both play the quick pass into the attacking area, and it doesn't always come off, but boy, oh boy, when it comes off, we are in.
Yeah,
and we are threatening right away.
That's my point, though. I think Kamada is starting to complement the way that Glasner wants to play his football.
I agree.
When there's a turnover of possession, we get the ball on the left-hand side. I think for a lot of our season, we know Gay is very confident on the ball. But sometimes Mitchell lacks the confidence at shoving forward, giving himself to the ball. But what I noticed, a massive point of today, he didn't have to, because Kamada was there. Kamada would drop deep. And in time, that shows. When you drop deep on the left, Munoz, you're pulling all of them to the left, because the deeper you drop, obviously, they're having to track the runners. We push wide on the right. Mitchell is not tracked because Kamada is there. And he plays deeper. I think when he showed his moments, even through good and bad, I think tonight and in previous games, he shows that he is a very good player when he plays deep. He's not. I don't think he's number 10. I don't think he's number 10 at all, but he complements the way we play. And he started to really fit into the system and allow other players to flourish.
It's good timing.
That's a great point, because that also allowed Wharton to box crash. A lot of them, Wharton box crash great today. The one-time pass to Eze to set up the penalty. I mean, that and Kamada being that's a very good observation on your point. But guys, I got to actually get ready to go, because my son's a Real Madrid fan and the Copa del Rey is one.
Fair enough. Well, enjoy, Patrick. Thank you for.
Let's go, Barca.
Yeah, I'll forget Barca. Hala Madrid. Anyway, up to Palace.
I take it back.
Up to
Right,
Palace.
I desperately want to get Jamal on because I've been following his antics in the little square when we see him at the bottom, and it looks like he's been running
Oh, he's had a good
away
time.
from someone. He was in the garden at one stage, hiding in some
Wait,
trees.
Jamal, before you start, tell him where you live.
Barbados.
Wow.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
It's
There you
always
go,
beautiful.
Exactly.
Wherever Jamal
Right,
comes in, it's always beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
but
you.
yeah, he was on. Yeah, you were definitely looking at one stage like somebody was following you, and I was concerned. I was concerned for your welfare, and I'm glad to see you're all right.
I live in the village, so there's always people around. There's always people around. So I have to find a nice quiet place because I know it's coming on soon. So I had to come someplace where there's not a lot of noise.
There you go. I want your life, but instead of me worrying about that, let's get your thoughts.
Crystal Palace is a wonderful football club from the top to the bottom. I know we have issues as a club, right? All clubs have issues, right? But today, it's good to see the gentleman came out. Like you see Soroy, he could have hard feelings and not come out, but he came out to support. I think I saw Tom Pims was there too as well. And, you know, Bright and these guys, everyone came in. It was almost like a family-like event for us to get to the semifinals. And then if you look at the players did not disappoint. The tactics, as Patrick discussed from Glasgow, was spot on. Every time Cash and Dinia got the ball, you would see Michel and Munia sprint 30 yards to get to them, to force them to pass the ball back to Konza and the guy Pat Torres. And that was one of the main reasons. And Patrick also talked about the press that Kamada did as well. That was very important in the way that Palace played today in this semifinals. And we played it like if we were accustomed being in semifinals. Yes, we missed the penalty. Yes, we missed chances. But all in all, Palace, I can't say, well, one person made a big mistake, for example. It was a team effort. When Mateta missed the penalty, you didn't see other people upset. Or I ain't sure if you see, I think like Chelsea this season, fight for who get the ball to shoot a penalty. As they ran across and tell Mateta, don't worry about it. Focus. We're going to win this game and we're going to continue. And that's what you want to see.
I'm so glad.
In everyone. And the whole Kamada issue, right? Mm-hmm. Kamada is such a polarizing figure for Palace, right? Yes, he didn't have the best of starts. I, myself, was not also a Kamada lover. And I probably give him his last chance when he made that tackle when Man City came back and went 5-2 as well, because he did have to make it. And he did make a similar kind of tackle today as well. But regardless, we still have to love him because he's part of Palace. We can't always try to want to find a scapegoat for what we can't win. I think I remember it's 2 games when we lost 5-0 from Newcastle. One, the host said, well, Kamada did not play in this game. We still got beat 5-0. So now who are we going to blame? Right?
It's true. It's
Yeah,
very
big
true.
fan.
次は解説です。マイク性能もありますが、ネイティブらしいごちゃっとした話し方の人が多いため、いつも通り聞き取るのが難しい部分も多いと思います。ボキャブラリーは便利なものも面白いものも多かったので、本日の解説をチェックしてみましょ
A little bit of gusto, you know. If
う。ガストは何かをとても楽しんで力いっぱい行うときに使う表現で、例えば食事を美味しそうに食べる、ダンスを情熱的に踊る、試合で生き生きとプレーする、など幅広く使えます。with ガストの形でよく使われ、何かを勢いよく、何かを楽しそうにといった意味で使われます。発音はガストとガストどちらも耳にします。英会話でも表現力をアップさせたいなら、ぜひ覚えておきたい単語です。
a little bit of gusto, you know, a little bit of gusto, you know.
And I think our fan base was way, way overboard in criticizing him.
オーバーボードは、本来は船の外へ落ちることを指しますが、日常会話では、やりすぎるという意味でとてもよく使われます。ゴーオーバーボードで、やりすぎるや、ドーコスと覚えておくと便利です。例えば、パーティーの準備をしすぎたり、買い物で無駄遣いをしすぎた時に使われ、 ネイティブがよく使う自然な表現なので、英会話やリスニングでもよく耳にするでしょう。
And I think our fan base was way overboard in criticizing him. And I think our fan base was way overboard in criticizing him. In retrospect, it was making him.
インレトロスペクトは、振り返って考えるという意味で、過去の出来事を客観的に分析するときに使う便利な表現で、ビジネス英語やエッセイでも頻繁に登場します。レトロスペクトと発音し、少しフォーマルな響きがあります。失敗や成功を今の視点で捉え直すときにぴったりの表現なので、スピーキングやライティングで使えると、英語の表現力がぐっと上がります。
In retrospect, it was making him. In retrospect, it was making him.
I'm not a reactionary person.
リアクショナリーは、もともと政治用語で、過去の体制や価値観に戻りたがる、反動的な人や考えを指します。一般的な会話では、新しい変化を嫌う人や、すぐに感情的に反応してしまう態度を指して使うこともあります。単語の響きは少しフォーマルで批判的なニュアンスがあるので、使う場面に注意が必要です。状況に応じて、保守的と訳すか、感情的に反応すると訳すかを選びましょ
う。I'm not a reactionary person. I'm not a reactionary person. We get fixated on people who just wind us up.
フィクシエイトは、ある対象に極端に意識を向け続ける、執着することを意味します。特に、フィクシエイト音の形で使い、何かに固執するや、何かを気にしすぎるというニュアンスを持ち、心理学用語で使われる場合は、過剰に意識が固定されるという専門的な意味もあります。日常会話では、ミスにとらわれすぎないようにしよう。細かいことに固執しすぎるなとアドバイスするときによく使われます。
We get fixated on people who just wind us up. We get fixated on people who just wind us up. We think they're the weak link.
ウィークリンクは直訳すると弱い鎖の輪っかのことですが、全体の中で最も弱い部分や全体を脆くする原因という意味で広く使われます。特にチームワークやビジネス、セキュリティ、システムなど、どんなグループにも必ずウィークリンクが存在するという考え方です。会話では、あの選手がチームのウィークリンクだなど、批判や分析の文脈でよく登場します。
We think they're the weak link. We think they're the weak link.
The guy has earned his keep.
earn one's keep は、その場にいるにふさわしいだけの貢献をするという意味のイディオムです。もともとは、住み込みで働いて食費を賄うという意味でしたが、今では職場、チーム、家庭などあらゆる場面で、ちゃんと役立っていることを表し、誰かの努力を認めるとき、または努力を求めるときに自然に使われます。覚えておくと、ネイティブらしい表現力がぐっと上がります。
The guy has earned his keep. The guy has earned his keep.
Because I've been following his antics in the little square when we.
アンチックスは、誰かのふざけた、または奇妙で面白い行動を表す単語です。複数形で使うのが基本で、単なる行動ではなく、見ている人を驚かせたり笑わせたりするようなアクションに使います。子供たちやペット、酔っ払いの友達など、日常的なシーンでよく使われるカジュアルな表現です。笑いを交えた軽い批判や描写にぴったりな単語なので、会話やリスニングでもよく耳にします。
Because I've been following his antics in the little square. Because I've been following his antics in the little square when we.
Kamada is such a polarizing figure for Palace, right?
ポラライズは、人々の意見や感情を真逆の方向に分裂させるときに使う動詞です。特に政治、社会問題、組織内の議論など、強い対立や賛否が生まれる場面でよく使われます。ネイティブがニュースやビジネス英語でよく使うため、覚えておくとリスニングや会話の理解に大いに役立ちます。
Kamada is such a polarizing figure for Palace, right? Kamada is such a polarizing figure for Palace, right?
いかがでしたか？鎌田大地の評価はレッドカードで退場した時に暴落し、低空飛行を続けていましたが、クリスタルパレスのチームとしての復調から好調になってくるにつれて、鎌田自身のパフォーマンスも間違いなく良くなっており、ここ数試合の結果で評価が上振れしたかと思えば、直近のアーセナル戦と今回の試合で、その評価がさらに急上昇している、といった状況に思えます。実際にアーセナル戦では90分フル出場していたことからも、中2日のこの試合では先発しないだろうと私もほぼ確信していましたので、先発だったことが大きな驚きでしたが、このことからも監督の信頼が明らかに感じられ、その期待にも完全に応えたことによって、 ファンの評価がさらに上げられたようにも感じます。もうすでに、鎌田を批判する人が批判されてしまうと言っても良いくらいに信頼を回復させたと思いますが、また残りの試合、特に FA カップ決勝でのパフォーマンスによっての評価が、とても大きいものになると思いますので、ぜひ、最後まで、この調子で活躍してほしいと思います。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。